We have recently finished renovating our entire kitchen, and if you're in the process yourself, you'll know that it's one of the most expensive investments you're going to make in your home. So that's why I thought I'd do a complete breakdown of how much everything costs in our kitchen, from all the cabinetry and appliances to our banquet seating, our floor tiles, plastering, and our backsplash. Our house is 1940s and we've renovated our entire house over the last year, and the kitchen was in a dire strait, and this is what it looked like when we moved in. We had no working equipment, we had wiring that was absolutely everywhere, we had damp walls, and we basically lived on an air fryer for the first 6 months that we lived in this property. And this is what our kitchen looks like now. And if you didn't see my reveal and how we did the complete makeover, I'm going to link that up the top for you right now. The kitchen we ended up going for was Howdens, and DIY kitchens was at the front of our minds. I know it is one of the cheapest, and that is because you are reliant on getting your measurements completely right. You basically become your own kitchen designer and you create a look for you, but all of your measurements have to be spot on. And for us, I just didn't like some of the units. I didn't like the idea that we had to do all of the measurements from scratch. And with Howdens, it just meant that we had someone that came out and did all of the measurements for us. My husband's also fitted a number of Howdens kitchens over the year, so he knew that they were nice and easy to put together. Now let's jump straight in with a breakdown of the costs. Because we completely renovated our space, I'm going to cover all of the costs from the stages from putting the room back together. So firstly, I'm going to say the complete size of our kitchen, as you may find it useful for your own renovation and your own costings. So our kitchen through to the utility is roughly 13.7 square meters. We also live in the southwest of England, which may make pricing a little bit different to where you are based in the country. So we moved into a property that had no gas. We had to have all of our plumbing redone, and we had to have new pipes put in, and basically throughout the whole house. So I haven't got a complete cost for the plumbing, just because we did have to have the whole house redone at once. Once we had that initial plumbing put in, it was time to get the walls plastered. Now this was one hell of a job for our plasterers, because we were literally had to go back to brick in so many areas. The ceiling collapsed in the utility end of the room, and it was one of the messiest parts ever. So the plastering, roughly, we had them here for 3 full days, and that came to £1,300, including all of their materials. Then moving on to the decorating stage, and I must also add, we did the kitchen rip out ourselves, and we have saved a lot of money by doing the labour ourselves for this part. And obviously the labour is what is going to add a lot of extra money onto a kitchen remodel. So for our paint, we used Coat Paints. I do have a trade account with them, but I get around a 10% discount on what you see online. Use Safe Play on the walls, which is a gorgeous subtle off-white with a warm undertone. And on our woodwork, we have Cargo, which is a gorgeous greige. It adds some definition and it just brings a little bit of colour into the scheme. We had 5 litre tins of either of these, and we did have to use them in a couple of bits in our hallway as well, but that came to £172.80. Now, one of the most expensive parts of this renovation in the kitchen, aside from the cabinetry, was actually our flooring. The flooring underneath was potentially asbestos, which it ended up being negative, but 2 sides of the kitchen into the utility were different substrates, so we had to ply that out, there was tons of nails in it before we were able to start putting our floor tiles down. So we ended up going with porcelain limestone style tiles from Cornerstone, and they are absolutely beautiful. They instantly lighten the kitchen, and we went for a cream grout, so it doesn't show the dirt as easily as a white grout does. So we purchased 18 square meters of tiles, so we had enough for offcuts, and also we went out into our small entryway, so it flows throughout. The whole cost of that was £767.47. Like I said, this was an investment for us. We wanted a really good, durable flooring solution that basically looked amazing. Moving on to our backsplash, we have this behind our hob area, and we also have it down the utility end behind our kitchen sink. These tiles are absolutely beautiful. I get so many questions about them. These are from the Artisan Tile Company. They're Sleek-chic tiles. They're very natural, and what I love about them is they've got a semi-gloss finish to them. So it just means that they engage your eyes visually a little bit differently, no matter where that you're looking at them in the kitchen. So for the full cost of these, that came to £186.50. And moving on to the kitchen. So our kitchen fitting cost was £0 because my husband did all of it himself, and he did an amazing job. Kitchen fitters vary with costs depending on where you are in the country, but you are going to want to budget a substantial amount of money for this element for them to carry out the work. As I mentioned at the start of the video, our kitchen is from Howdens, and everything I've mentioned today I will link in the caption below for you. A Howdens kitchen, you do need to have a trade account, but most kitchen fitters will have an account so you're able to get access, and depending on who you use and what the company is, there are varying levels of discounts that you can get on the kitchen if they pass it off to you as well. So our kitchen is the Allendale in Dusk Blue Shaker, and I am obsessed with it just as much as the day it was fitted. It brings definition to the kitchen, but it's got a gorgeous quality to it. It's very actually similar to Farrow and Ball Denimes, which we've got in our living room. It's a cross between a dusky blue without feeling grey in the room, and if you're looking for something a little bit different, this is perfect. Included in this cost, we have all of our cabinetry, and as you can see, we almost have a very unique U-shaped kitchen because our kitchen carries all the way through to the utility room. We've also got a lot of cabinetry down the end by our sink, and that's because it houses our boiler. We don't have conventional over the head cabinets, which I mentioned in my last video. A few reasons for that, because I find that in this space it was making it really, really dark, and we didn't need the extra cabinetry space. We've also substituted what may be normal under counter cabinets for drawers, which I'd really, really recommend because they just make life so much easier when you want to grab things out. We also have full integrated appliances that came with this. And we actually got a free dishwasher and a free washing machine as part of the deal that Howdens were offering at the time. So we've got 70/30 fridge freezer. We have a full-size integrated dishwasher. We've got an electric oven, we've got a gas hob, and we've got an extractor fan, which we then built around for a very concealed contemporary look. And we also had all of the handles supplied through Howdens as well. And this also included a Belfast sink, which is not the cheapest in their range by any means. Your standard stainless steel sink is always going to be more expensive. And we went for brass hardware on the taps as well. The full cost came to £6,800, which I think is amazing for a kitchen of our size, and we are so happy with it. One thing I will mention is we really did go with a mix of cheaper and more expensive alternatives to give it more of an elevated feel. Like our cabinetry and our worktop were some of the cheaper alternatives, but we then splurged a bit on items like the sink and also the tap. And included in all of the kitchen as well, we had a warranty on all of the fixed appliances for 3 years, which is really good for peace of mind. And I'm going to add some of the other bits that we had to do in the kitchen to get everything over the line. Again, with the electrics, we did have some electrics done in here, but as part of a wider thing in the house, it's quite difficult to nail down the specific costs. But the wall lights that I have behind me, they came to £117. We changed all of our sockets and switches to aged brass through Corsten, and this came to £164.64. What I love about these ones is they patina with age, so it gives it that kind of rustic, very, very natural feel. And when you are doing a kitchen up and you've got sockets on show, you want them to look good. It's one of the things that I really recommend splurging on in a kitchen. It's a very small detail, but it's one that's appraised and used on a daily basis. So you want people to see it and you want it to look amazing with your brand new kitchen. And the banquet seating that's just behind me as well, we built this ourselves. I say myself. James, my husband, built this, and it cost around £100 for the timber to build it. We built a frame and used plywood for this. And we've also got the window behind me, which we built in into our Nook little dining area, which is one of my favourite things about this kitchen. I was looking at glass to go up here, and not only was it incredibly expensive, a lot of these places were not near me and they were costing a fortune to send them, as you can imagine. So I came across clear acrylic, and clear acrylic you just wouldn't know isn't glass from a first glance. It's very translucent, it lets the same amount of light pass through as glass, but it's that little bit safer and it's not as heavy as traditional glass would be. So happy that I went with this, and this was a cut to size sheet, and it cost £67.70, which I think was a bargain in comparison to all the quotes that were coming through for glass, and I'm talking hundreds of pounds for this small piece that I've got behind me. All in all, our kitchen came in under 7,000, and for the whole renovation of this room, we came in at under 10,000, which I think is amazing for how our kitchen looked when we moved in. We've been enjoying our new kitchen for quite a few months now, and I can say there's not one thing in here that I don't dislike or hate. What I like about Howdens is I've had 2 different kitchens before this that were Howdens previously fitted, and they are such good quality. They're very easy to put together if you've got the skills to do it yourself, and they do come with really good warranties as well. I hope you found today's video useful. I thought it was really important to be transparent about all of our kitchen costs because it's really helpful if you're in the process of doing it yourselves as well. If there's any questions on things that I haven't mentioned or you'd be interested to know, please do leave me a comment below. And as always, I have put all the links to everything I've discussed and purchased for this today. I also didn't mention my radiator behind me, which I'll link. This was from UK Radiators, and I'll put that in the description as well. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.